Welcome back. Welcome once again, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon, and it is a bonus-length episode of Capital Raid Weekend, where in today's episode, we will finish our 60, that's right, 60 Capital Raids. I'm going to talk about my best attacks on both the Barbarian Camp and Capital Peak, my best defenses, my defensive changes, and yes, okay, so lots of strategy, and of course, a lot of attacking covered in today's episode. So if you guys do have a chance, the greatest way to support the channel is, of course, to use code Galadon before you make a purchase in any Supercell game. Go to the shop, make sure you type in my name, Galadon, and that will send me about 5% commission, even though it doesn't cost you a thing. Supercell does it as a gift to the creators. Make sure you're using somebody's creator code. My favorite is Galadon. Okay, so this is Galadon 13.0. We're kind of working our way down through all of the different Town Hall levels that I have in my Just Galadon clan with the intent of crushing as many clans as we possibly can. And also, remember, like we talked about last episode, we are making sure that every single account gets at least one 3-star attack, and that is going to be 10 additional attacks. So 20% more attacking, 60 instead of 50. If you coordinate it correctly with your fellow clan members. Now, Just Galadon is Capital Hall 2, my use code Galadon clan is Capital Hall 4, and we will cover those attacks and defenses as well, but for now I felt like more clans would be at the Capital Hall 2 level, so I thought it more important to talk about the results over here and the fact that you can count on, if you're being proficient at attacking most of the time, you're going to be able to get through Barbarian Camp and the Capital Hall with 2 to 3 attacks. Now this is, of course, Santa's Surprise, aka Galadon 11.0, and you'll notice that we actually have to upgrade the gold storages in order to have enough storage capacity to forge gold for the benefit of the clan, because there's nothing else for this account to do but try to pick up more presents. Now, this account was originally named Galadon 11.0, and then last holiday season, I renamed it to, as you can see, Santa's Surprise, but I just had this amazing thought. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should rename this account to Galadon 11.ho. What do you think? 300 IQ idea, right? Okay, anyway, so let's move on. We are attacking the second clan. We're in the second raid of Raid Weekend. It took 5 attacks to get through the first one. We're going to try to ideally get through a clan in 4, but we'll see how that goes in just a moment. Got to get through the whole tutorial thing. If you're just getting started, this is the first attack for this account, so we wanted to make sure that we could possibly pick up a 3-star and get the bonus. Now, we are, again, learning from our mistakes that barbarians and archers are not necessarily the strongest combination by themselves. Get those giants in there, you guys. Giants are amazing. They're going to soak up the damage, tank for almost anybody, and barbarians are great. Remember to try to use their rage ability, because we don't have rage spells yet. Get those barbarians close to a defense so that they can run in there. And I've noticed, by the way, that a level 1 Rage Barbarian facing a level 1 Spear Thrower, the Rage Barbarian will win as long as there are not other defenses firing on it. So keep that in mind as well. You can solo a Spear Thrower if somebody happens to leave it out by itself away from other defenses, especially like this default base setup can be. Sometimes there's a Spear Thrower down in the far bottom left of Barbarian Camp if your defending clan has not made a base change. Okay, so 2 attacks, got through Barbarian Camp. Now the key is, can we get through Capital Peak with only 2 attacks? We haven't done that successfully yet, so we go back in knowing that we're not going to pick up the 3-star here. We get in there with our giants, barbarians, and archers, and as we fast forward, because I'm not going to show you all 60 raids, you're welcome, we did do a pretty good job right here. This was 66% damage, a 1-star, although I have done better, and I will show you those best raids, okay? I am saving, out of all of the 60 attacks I did, I'm saving you the best raid I did on each of the 2 districts, the Capital Hall and the Barbarian Camp, as we move on to Galadon 14. The only Clash of Clans account with no heroes at Town Hall 14. It rolls in, and the giants, the archers, are on a second attack right here. They get through that gosh darn Capital Hall, but again, if you watch carefully, you see where I offset the archers so that they weren't right next to the giants, and that way they're not getting annihilated at once by the weapon, defense, eagle, whatever the heck you want to call that thing. Have they actually named that defense that's inside the Capital Hall? I don't think they did. Okay, So now there we go. There's the 3-star. And yes, this was not the first triple from this account, so I did not get the bonus attack. But again, like I said, it didn't matter because we ended up facing so many clans that we had way more 3-stars than we had players at the end of the raid weekend. And of course, yes, I did this all in one stream. Make sure you guys are stopping by. If you want to come by the live streams, you can see these attacks live, Legend League attacks, CWL, everything else. The URL is at the end of the video and down in the description if anybody actually makes it all the way to the end. And by the way, I know it's early, but let me know if you actually do watch the entire video. I think there's going to be few of you, but you know who you are. True hashtag Galafam if you get there. Okay, so we've got another raid going on. This is actually going to be the best Capital Peak raid that I've achieved, okay? Out of all of the Capital Peak raids, this had the highest percentage on the first try. So take a look, and if you want, try to replicate it a little bit. Notice I just brought one battle ram in order to get the wall open. And yes, of course, this is also slightly less upgraded than some of the other clans I've faced. And we'll talk about that at the end of today's video, because I'm also going to take all of this capital gold that I'm earning and put it into base upgrades before the end of today's episode, even though the clans that are going to attack me won't be able to attack that new stuff. You can imagine that wouldn't be fair if somehow a clan upgraded an entire capital hall and suddenly was facing or being attacked by the lower level capital hall clan. Okay, so here we go. We are finally going to get through the capital hall, and notice, like I talked about, that splash damage absolutely pulverized. It didn't one-shot the archers, but it did do major damage. And yeah, the second shot finishes them off. So not a true eagle, only one barrage coming down, but watch that splash radius whenever you can. That, wait, okay, we're not done yet. We are continuing our way through the outside, and that is probably what made this the best raid I've had. Not only A, did I get the Capitol Hall down in one attempt, but 2, I got a ton of these outside buildings out of the way simply because the Capitol Hall was gone. So again, here we go with the best Capitol Hall raid I've pulled off. So if you want to copy it, feel free, but I feel like it is always a little bit of luck as well. Also remember, this didn't have more defenses off to the right-hand side that were protected by walls, and that is something that you can do once you've upgraded a couple more defenses in the Capitol Hall. On that right-hand side, there's a multi-cannon, and you can put that or something else inside those walls. I will do that later on in today's episode, so watch for that. I think I've got a couple of little handy defensive tips, but here we are going to manage to clutch the 3-star on a second attack. So that means this will be a 2-attack Capitol Hall defeat, and that does help out because obviously we can get on to yet another clan. The Lonely Giant will finish the 7 buildings by himself, and that will mean we've got another clan defeated, and we're moving on to yet another raid momentarily, and hopefully learning from our lessons. That was one of the benefits of being able to do dozens and dozens of attacks as time went on and clans went by. We did get a little bit better, and of course, yes, we're bringing the battle ram because there are 2 places in an unimproved, unmodified barbarian camp where you can use a battle ram, okay? And this ends up being my best barbarian camp raid, highest percentage on the first try as we roll in, and you'll notice that there on the right-hand side, there's going to be that other spear thrower. That is where you use the other battle ram, and now you don't need any more. Try to get the giants to tank for the archers, and hope that there's a little bit of luck and you don't run into a bomb. Every now and then I find that the giants will avoid a bomb that the barbarians or the archers stumble across. That doesn't end well for anybody. Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward at 8 times speed through the rest of this raid, and you can see that I will end up with a 77% 2-star. So let me know if you've done better than a 77% 2-star if you have a Capitol Hall 2. Okay, with the next attack, we roll in with a fresh account, clean things up, and of course, pick up the bonus attack. You can see the bonus gold there, that little plus 90. That is for the leftover troops that are still alive or not deployed. Okay, here we go with the best capital defense that I faced in all of the clans that I was up against this raid weekend for my Capitol Hall 2. Surprisingly, this base was the hardest to take out. It took me 4 attacks, more than any other Capitol Hall, and they walled off a couple of houses of all things. And there's a bunch of walls stacked up in the back that didn't even come into play, and somehow this just didn't work out for me. I think there's a good strategy to keep in mind right here. Don't think that those houses are trash buildings. Those are hugely strategic buildings, and even by putting them in next to those defenses, it causes your attacking troops to take longer to get through. Think of them like little mini walls that give your defenses more time to fire on those attackers. All right, we're getting through most of the rest of the raids. Again, there were 60 attacks to be done. If you stopped by the Facebook live stream, you would have seen me do all of them in one live stream. It took me about, I want to say, somewhere around 4 hours to get the job done. And time again, the capital halls were by far the biggest PITA, pain in the archer, as they took abuse time and time again while we were trying to get through that capital hall. I will say also my favorite army became the 5-4 offense, which is 5 groups of archers and 4 giants. That is of course for cleanup, because if you've got walls you got to get through, definitely do yourself a favor, bring a battle ram or 2. They make a huge difference. And also remember that those archers going to be shooting over walls. It is so cool having like the fundamentals of Clash of Clans come back, right? It's like starting over, but in a new village, but in a new game, but it's the same game. I don't know. I've heard a lot of different feedback in the comments. Yes, I realize a ton of people hate this update. I don't know if it's any worse than any other update, because you always get people who complain, but I will tell you this, okay? I started out super positive, and then I sort of swung a little bit to the negative, like Gold Pass Clash, no cash Clash, can't really do much. My maxed out account, there's no benefit there. And then over time, especially over this first raid weekend, I realized that I think a lot of us are missing the point. I don't think that we should be looking at this update only from the perspective of how does this help my home village? How does this help my big, beautiful, important, prideful, it took me years to progress through village? Obviously, we have a brand new other village, and it's different than the Builder Hall, okay? I don't see it as the Builder Hall. This is like the pride of your clan. The sign of an active, well-coordinated, well-run clan is going to be an advanced clan capital. And perhaps over time, it'll be something that a lot of players are very prideful about as well, in addition to their own home village. I think that was the idea, right? That's the intent that the Clash of Clans design team had. Now, of course, it remains to be seen whether or not that will actually happen, if it will die a slow death like the Builder Hall did. I personally hope not, but it's too early to tell. It really is. So right now, I'm just going to be in there enjoying it and getting my archers wiped out by the capital halls. Now, this right here is going to end up being the final attack of the raid weekend for me. This is attack number 60. And it looked like we might just pick up the 3-star with the final archers at the bottom of the screen right here. We're at 97%, but isn't it fitting that Galadon in his very first raid weekend would end up finishing his last attack with a 99%? It's true. So we did not get through that last clan. We end up with a 99% against this capital hall, and that brings our raiding weekend to an end with over 2 days left. And here you can see we go through the clan info, and now this was interesting, I thought. Notice that number 1 got over 7,000 capital gold, and then number 10 got 4,500. So a pretty large variance, even though everybody had the same number of attacks. So there's definitely going to be an advantage to executing proficient attacks and not just spamming your troops and walking away. Okay, now here comes the next segment of the video, and that is where I go in with all of that capital gold that you just saw, and we make upgrades. Now, I will give you a defense tier list here in just a second, but always remember, offense. Let's focus on offense, camps and barracks. Make sure those are all unlocked and upgraded as much as possible. Then you can focus on your defense priority list, but you've got to go way down this list before you find the spear thrower. It is actually like 8 from the bottom. That is the strongest defense that we're going to be unlocking right here. All of those others that are up higher are going to be in later districts, so focus on the spear throwers as the key defense to upgrade once you have everything else unlocked. Also, I decided that bombs might be a good idea. I noticed on offense, bombs were pretty devastating when placed well and going after, say, a group of archers. Also, we did take a little bit of time to rearrange the base. I don't really have an ideal base for you right now. If you want to go back, Earlier in the video, we saw that one base that took us more attacks than any other to get through. I think that was wise. I just didn't have the time right here to do it, although I definitely suggest using this square box over here, putting a defense in the middle of it, or, you know, using it to expand your walls. Otherwise, we tried to put the mega mines where we thought players would be attacking us, and then we did make another few changes. You know, we probably should have done a lot more, but just very basic stuff. We decided also to leave that little gap, the opening, let units roll in there and get wiped out by a bomb, and that's going to be just about all we did. And again, remember, defense is only 5 to 20% of your total rewards, and we don't know what those rewards will be yet, but obviously I will look at those and make a video with rewards at Capital Hall 2 and Capital Hall 4. Over here with the Barbarian Camp, the only significant change I made was once you unlock these 2 bomb towers near the top right, I feel like those should be moved around and not just set out right on the edge where they are in the default map. Maybe even consider taking your walls, moving them around, making some more enclosures. For now, like I said, this isn't really a best possible base defense video. It's more like, let's throw some of these things around and experiment for now. But when you attack, you're going to pick up tips and little hints that will help you redesign your own base, or at least pass it on to your co-leaders, or maybe even pass it on to a friendly YouTuber down in the comments of today's video, so that they can make changes to their own base and have an even better defense for next Capital Raid weekend. So all in all, while yes, 60 attacks is probably too much to handle in one weekend, it is a lot of fun. I am enjoying the Capital raiding, and you'll notice that we destroyed 11 clans and then got halfway through clan number 12. But it was a lot of fun. I promise to check back in with you guys and let you know how the Capital rewards went. Let's experiment with raid medals. That is going to be fun to be able to donate to yourself. And yes, I do hope that there are better rewards added to the trader that you can purchase with raid medals over the long run, perhaps even books. That would be ideal. Hammers might be asking for too much, but let's hang out and find out. Let me know how your first ever raid weekend went as well. Galafam, thank you for sticking around all the way to the end of this extra long episode. You were the true hashtag Galafam. That's why I love thinking about it. I appreciate every single one of you every single day. So get out there and make the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and year. Be kind to the people, animals, and the planet. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Galadon, 60 attacks. You really no-lifed it this weekend, eh? Oh, I forgot. You don't have one anyway.